Hey Polish Fiends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have a review and a demo on how to apply nail art practice tips onto a fake hand. I have recently had my eye on the Poochiez nail hand, and while it looks absolutely fabulous, I just cannot justify paying that price. So I went online to see if I could find maybe not a dupe per se, but definitely something that was a cheaper alternative, and I feel like I have. So if you want to see what this nail looks like with the tips on and my review, then just keep on watching. So jumping right in guys, this is what the hand looks like once you remove it from the bag, and as you can see, it's not on par with the Poochiez nail hand. It is most definitely a cheaper alternative, but what I like about it is that the fingers themselves are quite sturdy, so if you've got extra filing and all that stuff, then it is definitely going to hold the weight. So it has really pasty white skin. It doesn't look like real skin whatsoever, but it does have the markings, engravings and things like that on the hand to make it look semi like a normal hand, if that makes any sense. So moving the hand around, as you can see, it is quite a sturdy hand, but it is movable. I don't know if maybe the fingers will get more movable when I'm using it, but from pulling right out the bag, you can move the fingers, but it does take a little bit of work. So I picked this hand up from eBay and I paid £6.95 with free delivery, and it took about 4 days to arrive, and it was packaged really well in a padded envelope, and it came in a cellophane bag to keep the hand clean. When I removed it from the packet, as you could see, I was having a little play with it, and the fingers are movable and you could also pose them. So when I first started looking at nail practice hands, I first got a dupe for the nail trainer, and it worked out really well for me, other than the fact that it had like the long wire on it, so I didn't have the desk space. So I basically wanted something that wasn't too bulky and something that could hold the weight of me doing a lot of filing and all that good stuff. So when this hand arrived, I was pleasantly surprised. As you could see, it's a really quite a good quality hand for the price. It's not going to be up there with the Poochiez nail hand, but what I do think is sometimes items are, I think, overpriced, and £250 for a silicone hand is just way out of my price league at the moment, and certainly for something that I am not going to use all the time, I just feel like it isn't something that I would benefit from. Whereas if I had something cheap and cheerful that I could pull out now and again to practice on, that would suit me fine. So what I'm going to do guys is I'm going to show you how I applied the tips and what it looked like all set up. So to apply my tips to the nail hand, I'm going to be using clear acrylic, but you can use glue or blue tack or any of that stuff. I'm also going to be using just a cheap acrylic brush that I picked up from AliExpress. I'm going to be using the Mrs. Monomer by Ink London, and I'm also going to be using the clear Mrs. Clear by Ink London also. So I've gone ahead and applied some kitchen roll to my nail board just to keep everything clean and to clean my acrylic brush on. And the nail tips I'm going to be using today are my clear stiletto tips that I picked up from eBay. So I'm just going to go ahead and position this hand until I'm comfortable, and at this point I'm going to be doing it so they're facing you, so you could see what I'm doing. So I'm first dipping my brush into the monomer until all of the bubbles are out, and this is going to help with the application of the acrylic. I then pull the brush up and deposit some of that monomer back into the tub, and then I just drag my brush through the acrylic, pick up a nice semi-medium bead, and it's also wet too, and then I just sort of spread it out onto the nail until I have an even application, and then I grab my tip and I press it firmly on, giving it a sort of wiggle, sort of like what you would if you were applying the poly gel. And then at that point, if any of the acrylic comes out of the nail, you just want to take your brush and slightly wipe it, but this one actually went on really well. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to all of the nails and do the same. So as you can see, I'm just holding it down and making sure it's placed firmly on there and it attaches to that acrylic. So what I will do is go ahead and do this to all of the nails, and I will get back to you guys. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you So this is what the hand looks like once I had applied all the tips. Now, as you can see, the tips fit absolutely marvellous on that hand. I just measured them. I think the middle finger is a size 4, the pointer and the ring fingers are a size 5, the pinky is a size 7, and the thumb is a size 3. So you just want to basically, like you would your own nails, you want to fit them so it fits from sidewall to sidewall and you have no spaces in between. And now I'm going to go ahead and take a buffing block, and I'm using an old one that I keep specifically for using on my nail trainer and now this hand as well, and it just helps keep the plastic around the skin from sort of going all raggy. So I'm just going to buff off the surface shine of those nails. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some isopropyl alcohol. First I'm going to remove the dust and debris with my scrubbing brush, and then using a lint-free pad and some isopropyl alcohol, I'm going to wipe off any of that dust, and that is this nail hand ready for use. So I must admit guys, I was actually pleasantly surprised on how this cheap hand held on to those nails. I filed it to within an inch of its life, and I really went to town and made sure I was being just as, not rough, but just as what I would do on my own hands, and it did zero to the skin. It didn't fluff up any of the cuticles or anything like that, and it handled it really well. So I think it maybe not as pretty as the Poochiez nail hand, but it works just as well. So if, like me, you would be buying this hand just to practice on now and again, or you maybe do not have the money to justify spending that kind of money on a plastic hand, that is totally fine, and this hand is 100% just as successful in the sense that it's going to do everything you need it to. So guys, that's us reached the end of today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed my little demo of this nail hand, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would totally appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.